All right, well, welcome everyone to today's webinar and presentation. Excited today to be going over and introducing our audiences to another one of our directors, Terrell Sarver. Again, this is Kurt Naderveld, the CEO of Rainstar Capital Group, and Terrell Sarver is one of our managing directors. He is located in Indianapolis, Indiana. And he works not only with our clients in the Indianapolis market and the state of Indiana, but he's very active on a national basis as well, working with a lot of our clients as well. So welcome, Terrell. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself to everyone. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to get to know you today and go through the presentation. So before we get started, obviously we do need to kind of throw out our disclaimer. We are going to be talking a little later about some of the capital market programs that we have here at Rainstar Capital Group, and with the fact that we're going to be discussing that, we want to make sure that this presentation is not to be construed for giving any sort of legal or professional advice. Obviously, if you're looking to secure debt financing, there's no guarantee of that. And then also, if you're looking to invest into real estate or grow any sort of business, all income potential, is not guaranteed as well. So we highly recommend that you do get the professional advice of legal and tax professionals. If you are looking to to do those things. So with that said, again, you can see myself, Kurt Naderveld, and there's Terrell Sarver. A little brief background on myself. I've been in the capital market space for over 7 years now. I launched a marketing firm called Rainstar Marketing back in October of 2010. And since our launch, our marketing firm has served over 100 clients, some that have been primarily fund managers and direct lenders in the commercial real estate and the corporate finance environments. And a lot of those lenders that were our marketing clients now translate over into our debt advisory platform that we run here at Rainstar Capital Group. And I launched Rainstar Capital Group in January of 2014. We invested into our balance sheet into kind of a couple different niches that you can see there. And then where we focus heavily is on our debt advisory platform. We have over 200 registered lenders on it, and we cover commercial real estate, corporate finance, small business, and equipment financing. And our team is currently at 25 managing directors spread out across the United States. Each of our directors typically has 20 to 40 plus years of experience. And Terrell is one of our team leaders. He manages one of our teams of managing directors, and he does a really great job for us. So with that said, Terrell, the focus is on you, my friend, today. So we're excited to get to know you. So why don't you jump in? Tell the folks on this presentation a little bit about your background. I know you're a man of faith, obviously, and you're very active in some of your mission and church work. I'll talk a little bit about your faith and family, and then we can transition to kind of some of your business background. How's that sound?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, I am actually a ordained elder, and I've been ordained for the last 6 years. I'm one of the active elders at my church. So I'm very, passionate about that. Back in 2015, I actually passed away from respiratory failure, and God revived me and brought me back to life. I was in a coma for over 8 days, and my heart stopped 8 times while I was in a coma. So I definitely, give all God the praise and glory and honor for, resurrecting me and giving me life today. So I'm very passionate about God. I'm also married. I've been married for 8 years now. We have 3 wonderful daughters. We have one that just graduated from IU, and she's in her master's program right now. She just recently got married in July, so we're very proud of that. We also have a 13-year-old. She's in middle school right now. She's actually about to, she actually did her shadowing today with a local high school here, and so she's getting ready for that. And we also have a 7-year-old who will be 8 years old next week. So we're very proud of our family, and it's only by the grace of God that I'm here today and be able to enjoy my family. So I'm very passionate, and I'm very grateful to be alive and well today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that Terrell and I had connected on. I was diagnosed with cancer, about 5 years ago. And so, both Terrell and I have been through, hardships when it comes to health, but, I think they've definitely, helped us to become, the men that we are today. So,
Yes, sir.
that's, you learn a lot from hardships, obviously. So So obviously, along with your focus on your family and your work in ministry, you're also a businessman, right? So why don't you, tell us a little bit about your background, and then obviously kind of how you came about becoming a director with us here at Rainstar, and how some of your background affects kind of the work that we do, with the work that you do here in helping clients.
Yes, sir. I started off as a senior loan officer on the residential side back in 2003. And I specialized back then in consumer financing. And we did refinances and purchases of primary residence. And then when the market crashed in 2008, I had to reinvent myself pretty much and have to go into the non-for-profit sector. So I became a housing counselor, a HUD housing counselor, and I also became certified in the area of financial literacy, credit education, foreclosure counseling, and first-time homebuyer counseling. And I did that for like 6 or 7 years, and then became an executive director of a non-for-profit, and I did that for like 3 years. I left the non-for-profit sector after the third-year term was because it just wasn't profitable for me, even though it was very helpful to people. We counsel people, and we were very helpful to people, but it just wasn't profitable enough for me to take care of my family. So regrettably, I had to leave that sector and get back into the commercial financing sector. So I started my own company back in 2000, and I think it was 2010 when I started my company. And so I forged relationships with different banks and, built up my portfolio with lenders and stuff, and, and did very well in the commercial financing sector. I believe it was in 2016 is when I came aboard with Rainstar. I met Kirk. I think I met Kirk via email, and then we decided to meet, and I met him in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And immediately we connect. Immediately, just like he said, we both had health scares, and so we connected that way. We're both men of faith, and we just connected. And then, so Kirk decided to give me a chance to work with them. At that time, he had just really started launching the managing director, so he gave me an opportunity to come on board, and we have not looked back ever since. It's truly been a blessing to be a part of Rainstar. I don't have to worry about anything. They pretty much take care of me, and I'm very grateful that God allowed us to connect.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has been kind of a neat journey on from that first lunch meeting to where it's at. And Terrell does a fantastic job with our clients. He's obviously one of our team leaders, and he does a great job of managing and training his existing team. And here at Rainstar Capital Group, to kind of transition, we've built kind of one of the more robust debt advisory platforms. We have over 200 registered lenders on our platform, and while we do have some banks, primarily our platform is built off of non-bank lenders, right? So if a client's been rejected by a local bank, what other options does he or she have, right? So we've built the platform that has, hedge funds, private equity firms, specialty finance firms. We're very active in equipment financing. We have a lot of bridge lenders, and we've also really positioned the platform as we brought on pretty much all the different fintech lenders out there. For folks listening to this presentation that maybe aren't as aware of what fintech is just very simply marrying financial with technology. And fintech lenders are kind of like online lenders, right? And what's great about them is that they have the ability, based on their technology and their software, to very quickly make a decision on if they're going to extend liquidity to a borrower. And so with some of our programs, we have the ability to fund clients in as fast as 4 hours. I know, Terrell, you've been very active working with our fintech lenders. Why don't you talk a little bit about, when entrepreneurs and business owners come to us, they definitely need fast cash, right? They definitely need liquidity, and they don't want to wait 30 days, right?
Right. Yeah. So, the fintech lenders that we have, I think it changed the game pretty much because, like you said, a lot of small business owners or even investors, they're looking for quick situations. They're looking for quick resolutions. And so these fintech lenders provide us the opportunity to get deals closed pretty quickly. And so I'm very excited about the opportunities that we have for our small business owners to get the cash that they need quickly. And that's the key, because we live in a microwave society and everyone, needs cash today. One of the questions I asked, how soon do you need this cash? And it was like yesterday. So I'm very proud that we did our due diligence and put ourselves in position to team up with fintech lenders that can give us an opportunity to get these deals done pretty quickly. So, one of my favorites is the working capital loans, the business loans, but also my two favorites is the unsecured credit lines, revolving lines of credit that we have right now. And I believe we have the opportunity to partner up with six or seven other fintech lenders as well. But for right now, we have two major, powerful, unsecured lines of credit that will provide working capital for small business owners very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that, our clients really enjoy about working with us is, again, we've built a very diverse and a very robust, lending platform, right? We have the ability to do commercial real estate, corporate finance, small business, and equipment financing. And most clients really like that, right? I mean, I know, Terrell, most business owners are busy, right? They're busy running their show and kind of the running jokes that they don't always care where the capital comes from. They just care that they get it, right? So that they can, solve their problems or grow their business, right? So that kind of covers a little bit about, our debt advisory platform. Kind of one of the big messages that we like to get across is that, very similar to banks, our non-bank lenders still are going to look at the cash flow, credit, and collateral of the client. But typically what we see is that they have less lending restrictions, right? They are there to pick up the transactions that banks can't do, right? So they kind of fill that that gap in the marketplace. And so while the non-bankers are still going to rely on cash flow, credit, and collateral, and they underwrite, what we typically see is they tend to prioritize one over the other, right? They're either going to be like more of a cash flow lender, they're going to put more emphasis on your credit, or they're going to care more about your your collateral, right? So the key then is to really identify which priority it is that that the lender is focusing on. And that's where Rainstar Capital Group can really come into play, because we can help you kind of put what we call put the pieces of the puzzle together, right? Figure out what the different variables are that the client has, and be able to quickly and efficiently match those up to the requirements that the lender has, so that the the transaction can get done. So that said, we're going to transition now. Obviously, Terrell works in the Indianapolis market. I know you're always, jetting around Indiana, meeting with our clients. And then, you also have a lot of clients nationally as well. And so why don't you jump in, though, and kind of tell us a little bit about Terrell, in your backyard in Indiana and Indianapolis. Where do you see kind of some of the big needs, right? What are a lot of the programs that you're helping clients get? What are some of the niches that you see as very active in the Indiana market?
Yeah, that's great. So one of the main niches that I'm seeing, or the most need, is really investors and contractors. Those guys are needing cash, because a lot of those guys, especially the contractors, they have these contracts, to do these large and big jobs, but a lot of times they don't have the reserves or the capital that they need to sustain while they're working, or while they're waiting for the paychecks to come in. So that's really the big niche and need that I see out there, that that we're in position where we can provide working capital for these type of contractors, too. They can sustain themselves while they're waiting for their big checks to come in. So I'm very proud of that, and I think that's the market that I'm really want to concentrate on a little bit more here in Indiana, because we have some phenomenal contractors and phenomenal upcoming investors and seasoned investors as well, that may not have access or don't know or not privy to the information that we have to provide working capital immediately to bridge that gap for these commercial players. So I'm very excited about that. But that's one of the biggest needs that I see and that I really want to capitalize on, is just being in position to basically bridge a gap for these guys, so they can continue to sustain their businesses and grow and expand. And working capital allows small businesses to do that. That's the main part of it, is not to get you money that you don't need or that you don't have a plan for, but to get you that money to bridge a gap to sustain you while you continue to expand your business. And I believe the unsecured lines of credit and also the business loans that we have to offer can help these companies grow. And that's really our main focus, is to be in a position to bridge gaps. And that's really what our focus is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think you just hit on a big thing, right? Working capital, right? If you ask most entrepreneurs, do you need an extra 50, 100, 300 grand or half a million, whatever it is, right? Depending on the size of the business and the revenues that they do, most, CEOs, most business owners, most CFOs will say, yeah, of course, we need that liquidity, right? So yeah, absolutely. Working capital is a big need. I know you've been very active as well, Terrell, in equipment financing. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the equipment financing solutions that you see as a big need in the Indianapolis market?
Yeah, the equipment financing sector is huge as well. I just closed a loan here recently, probably about 2 weeks ago, with a local contractor, and he's bringing in over $1 million a year, and but he needed some working capital, so we was able to get him an unsecured line of credit, a revolving line of credit, which allowed him to cover payroll while he's waiting for his big checks comes in. But he also is in need of new equipment because, of course, because he's getting those large contracts, he needs equipment as well. So we're able to provide equipment financing for him as well. So, and I like the leverage that we have here at Rainstar with our equipment, because we are a direct lender when it comes to equipment financing, but we also have over 55 other partnerships with other lenders in the equipment sector that will allow us to meet pretty much any scenario when it comes to equipment financing. I think with Rainstar, I think our equipment financing platform is probably stronger in any area of loan products that we actually have. And we have over 500 lenders that we're in partnership with, but our equipment financing platform is very, very strong. And so we can pretty much do a lot of stuff with that. So I'm very, very excited about that and very proud to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Equipment, we see a lot of needs, obviously, like Terrell mentioned, on the construction side, very active in the trucking and transportation space. There's a lot of needs there. Medical equipment is big too. A lot of the medical sectors and doctors' offices are really, expanding as well. Machine shops, manufacturing shops, and we see a lot of needs, there as well. And equipment is, definitely a fantastic.
And one of the things I like about the equipment as well is that because once again, you have a lot of companies out here that are needing that working capital to sustain themselves. What happens is that a lot of times, because we were talking about the equipment list, a lot of times these companies already have equipment that they can leverage to get the working capital that they need as well. So we have those programs in place as well. So, come to us and give us a shout out if you're in need of equipment financing or even working capital. Give us the opportunity to work with you and see what we can do for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then, I know as well, kind of a final niche that you've been very active in as well is commercial real estate. So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the needs and opportunities that you're seeing on the commercial real estate side?
Yeah, I love the commercial real estate side. A lot of people kind of stay away from it because, when you think about commercial, there's a lot of moving parts with that. And, once again, most people are looking to get things done quickly. So we are very proud to be in partnership with a lot of commercial lenders that that are providing bridge funding, but also long time term loans as well. And so we have a lot of scenarios and different caveats that go with commercial financing. We even have commercial financing where if you have the asset but you don't have the credit. We have a couple of lenders that won't even look at your credit. We even have some commercial financing that was through stated as well, and of course even do cross collateral with other assets that you may have as well. So I'm very, very confident in how strong my lending arm is when it comes to commercial finance, commercial financing. Even our fix and flip platform is pretty strong as well. So we have a different lot of scenarios. And one of the things I like about Rainstar too is that we can be very creative when it comes to getting you what you need when it comes to different scenarios. Because once again, everyone doesn't fit the same mode. Everyone It's not cookie cutter. So we have to make sure that we take our time to sit down with everybody to evaluate your situation and try to meet the need that you have at that particular time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, Terrell, for taking the time today to kind of walk us through your background and also, some of the programs and opportunities that you're seeing in the, Indiana market. If anyone has a need and they want to reach out to Terrell, you can kind of see his contact information there. Go to his landing page, www.rainstarcapitalgroup.com/Terrell, or you can see Terrell's email there as well. Feel free to reach out to Terrell. He does a great job for our clients. And Terrell, thank you so much for your time today. We'll look forward to talking to you.
Appreciate the opportunity to share my story and talk a little bit about what Rainstar can do for our clients. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
All right.